Can you imagine confidently sharing your credit card, email, and confidential passwords freely with total strangers? Of course, to you that's impossible, unless someone very skilled in social engineering hacks you. This is what led to the 2013 Target data breach, 2014 Sony Pictures hack, 2016 United States presidential election, 2013 Yahoo customer account, and 2020 Twitter Bitcoin scam. In this video, you will learn how weak the human mind is and how hackers like Kevin Mitnick use social engineering. Kevin Mitnick, the Condor, was the most celebrated U.S. hacker because he possessed one of the greatest and most effective hacking techniques, pretexting a part of the big box of social engineering. The dark side hacker was accused of financial damage worth millions of dollars to big phone and tech companies like Nokia, Nova, Motorola, and more. Only a few people knew why he was refrained from public speaking until his arrest. This is why. Kevin's forte was social engineering. To really get this, you need to deeply understand social engineering. Social engineering is the art of tricking people into giving up private information. It is the combination of psychological and technology. Hackers use it to take advantage of flaws in people. To understand this, you need to listen like a hacker. In the world we live in now, trust is like money, and social engineers know how to fake it. To get to private information, they play with people's feelings and views. Scams that use social engineering involve figuring out how people act and then changing that behavior. By figuring out what drives people, attackers can control and trick users into doing bad things. To get bad things done, the psychological approach turns into a powerful tool that takes advantage of the complicated ways people think and act. Also, hackers take advantage of users' lack of knowledge to get an edge. Because technology changes so quickly, both customers and workers are often not aware of new threats, such as the subtleties of possible dangers like drive-by downloads. A lot of people also don't know how valuable their personal information is, even things that seem harmless like their phone numbers. Yes, your phone numbers. People who use computers often don't know the best way to keep their information safe because of this. Hackers who use social engineering usually have one or two main goals. The first is sabotage. Sabotage is the act of messing with or destroying data to do harm or cause trouble. The goal is to break into systems or information and make them less secure or useful. The next is to steal. Theft is when someone takes something valuable, like money, private information, or access to something without permission. The goal is to use weaknesses to get control or ownership of valuable assets without permission. This could cause the organization to lose a lot of money or have its image harmed. This is exactly what Kevin did to help him steal $300 million. These are some of the techniques Kevin used. Phishing emails and fake phone calls are the ways to get into the thoughts of someone who doesn't know what's going on. Carefully put together, these messages take advantage of people's trust and interests. Another important part of social engineering is impersonation, which means putting on the mask of a person in power to take advantage of people's natural tendency to trust those in power. They also use tailgating and quid pro quo. Quid pro quo is Latin for something, and is a social engineering technique wherein the cyber criminal offers a benefit to the target in exchange for information or access. Hit the like button and subscribe to this channel to know how it is used. Let's say Kevin's latest mission is to mess with a company called Spice Haven, which sells interesting spices online. First things first, Kevin checks out the Spice Haven team on a work-focused social site called LinkedIn. He's got his eye on the marketing folks because they usually have access to important things. Then, he dives into their personal lives on social media. He finds the VP of Marketing, Sarah, who loves working from cafes on Friday. Kevin notes down that she uses a MacBook and the name of the cafe she's hanging out at. Now, Kevin gets creative. He finds a cool tea shop in a different state, let's call it Tea Delight, and pretends to be the big boss there. He shoots Sarah an email saying Tea Delight wants her to be a tea test taster. Kevin knows from her post that she's also into Earl Grey tea, so he mentions that. Sarah falls for it and says, "Sure, send me some teas." Kevin seizes on this opportunity. He sends her an email with a PDF, but it's not your usual tea brochure. It's a sneaky program that messes with her computer. He picks a time when he thinks Sarah might be using public Wi-Fi at the cafe, making it easier to sneak in. Once she clicks on the PDF, her computer gets infected. This creates a secret way for Kevin to slip into Spice Haven's computer system. But Kevin is in no rush. He waits for the perfect moment to do some tricky things. To keep the relationship going, he chats with Sarah to learn more about Spice Haven for future tricks. Kevin's styles, like every other mind hacker, is patient and sly. They spend a lot of time pretending to be friendly before making their big move. It's like a slow and tricky game for them, where they carefully plan each step. However, there's a positive side to the social engineering that that the condor himself later discovered. Ethical hackers use social engineering as a key part of penetration testing in the field of business security. In this high-stakes game, real-life attacks are simulated to find weak spots. Human psychology is a part of the digital defenses, making the fight very complicated. In a chess game, figuring out how people act is just as important as figuring out lines of code. Ethical hackers must carefully plan their strategies to use social engineering effectively in penetration testing. They need to learn as much as they can about the company they want to work for and the people who work there. This could mean looking at people's social media accounts, the company's website, or even the workplace itself. Hackers can create plausible situations that take advantage of people's weaknesses if they know about the company's culture, structure, and ways of communicating. But it's important for ethical hackers to always put the safety and well-being of the people involved first and get permission before they do any tests or studies. A hacker might look into a company's website and find that they have a strict hierarchical structure and put a lot of stress on following protocol. The hacker could pretend to be a high-level executive and send urgent emails to lower-level workers asking for private information if they knew this. With the help of the company's culture and communication channels, the hacker can make it more likely that workers will give up private information without being caught. However, ethical hackers would first get permission from the company and make sure that what they do doesn't hurt the business. Here's a more in-depth look at The Push by Darren Brown, a psychological experiment that shows how powerful social engineering can be through subtle manipulation. This interesting video shows how far people can be pushed to do morally questionable things. The Push goes deep into the psychology of people and shows how easy it is to control our morals and how easily we can be tricked. Brown uses carefully thought-out situations and psychological tricks to show how normal people can be forced to do things that aren't moral. This experiment is a scary reminder of how dangerous social engineering can be. It shows how important it is to be aware of and think critically in a world that is becoming more and more linked. There is no doubt that the human mind is both a stronghold and a weak as we learn more about the complicated world of social engineering. Being able to manipulate things in new ways has become possible now that our lives are so connected to technology. Thanks for watching this video. Do well to hit the like button, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and share. Do not miss our next video on Kevin Poulsen.